Welcome to today's edition of Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today we are going to make this lovely cherry blossom card right here. And with this card here, I've used kind of a triple layer effect and just a nice simple inside there. And I'm going to use this Forever Blossoms stamp set here. Okay, and that's available in the annual catalog. And I'm using the So Sentimental stamp set for the sentiment there. A couple other things that I'm using is I'm going to be using some Stampin Blends. Okay. And also from the Forever Greenery collection, there's this, I don't know if you can see it there, it's a gold metallic twine. Okay, and that's also available. Everything is available in the annual catalog. Okay, so in the annual catalog, you can see here, it's a combo set in the Forever Greenery. It also comes with a vanilla open weaved ribbon. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get our white, Whisper White cardstock. So there's 3 different sizes that we need. Okay, the first is we need a 4 by 5.25 inches piece. Okay, actually you'll need a second one for the inside, which I'll just put aside. Then you need a 3 by 4.25 piece, and then a 2 by 3.25. So what you want to do is you want just to put a tiny little piece of tape, not much, just enough. Okay, and then center it in your card here. Okay, and I find it easier if I line it up with some of my lines there. And then you're going to do the same thing with the small one. And again, just kind of line it all up. And you only want to put a tiny little piece of tape in there because you want to be able to take it off. There, like so. Okay, but that's just to make it so that the pieces of paper don't move. So I'm going to take from the Forever Blossoms this large cherry blossom stamp here. And I'm going to stamp it using smoky slate. And that's just enough to give it an outline, but not so dark that it's going to overpower everything else. So when doing a big stamp like this, I usually ink this way. Sorry if that's shaking the camera a bit. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do. And now I'm just going to kind of position where I want it, and I want it to go across all 3 pieces of paper to get a nice effect. Okay, so I will probably come back here a little bit and ink it really well, and then release. Okay. And actually what I've done previously is I had off-stamped it first, which I forgot to do this time. Now, before I take it off, I'm going to actually color it. So I start with my light color, and we'll just do some coloring in here. Okay, and you want to be, you don't have to be perfect. Just get some color in there. And the nice thing with these blends, if you haven't used them before, is the more you add, the darker they get. So I'll quickly fill this in. And then what I'm going to do, and this is kind of a alcohol based, so it dries actually quite quickly. But what it allows you to do is when I come in with the darker is you can start creating some shadow effects and some depth to your... Okay, so there's those ones. Now I'm going to take my dark one and I just want to add some depth to it. So I'll come at the base of the buds and again kind of up the center, adding some color. And you can shade these however you want. Okay, I just like the darker centers. And again, the base. Okay, and it will lighten up a little bit as time goes on. Then I took Granny Apple Green, and sorry, the pink was Flirty Flamingo. And I'll just quickly do my leaves. And this last one here didn't come through completely, but that's okay, where it was overlapped, because that is actually going to be hidden. And now I'll take the dark of the Granny Apple Green. And if you're not familiar with the blends, they actually come with two ends. Okay, there's the finer tip there, and then more of the paintbrush on that end. So again, I'm just adding some depth by outlining this kind of the leaf veins. And then I'll actually color the stem in and this one here. There we go. Oops. A little bit more of the stem there. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to take these apart. And you're leaving a tiny bit of tape behind, but that's okay. And now we're going to mount those. So I've got some black, basic black, and the small one is 2.25 by 3.5. So I will mount this one. So now I'm just going to add more tape to it so that it'll actually adhere more. Oops. And you can see how the ink went through a little bit onto the back side, but that's okay because it won't show. So I will mount that like so. So everything's got a kind of a 1/4 inch around. Now I'm actually going to mount this to this one first. Well, it doesn't really matter. Just be careful, you've got a little bit of tape. So I will. Oops. And again, it's sticking to everything because I got that tiny piece of tape, but that's okay. And now I will mount that to this one. And now I will put the small one on top of the big one. Now, I hope you're enjoying these tutorials. I would help me out a lot if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. That would be greatly appreciated. So now what you want to do is you want to mount this so that the patterns almost line up. You can kind of see how they kind of line up like so. And then stick it down. And now we're going to do the same. I'll mount this one on my card base first. I find it easier when it's got the black behind it. Okay, so we'll mount that like so. And now we will put this one on top. And again, lining up everything like so. This one I was stamped off a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, like so. Now, the other thing I did for the front is I put a little sentiment in here with just basic black. Okay, so that's just Memento ink. Again, available in the annual catalog. And from the So Sentimental, I've just got the little For You. Okay, so ink it up. Now I will just line that up. And cover up your ink pad so you don't end up with ink everywhere. So that's the outside. Oh, except I forgot my ribbon. So I've already, this ribbon is a little bit finicky. I won't lie about that. So I already did my little bow. I have a pair of scissors here that I tie a little piece of ribbon on that's just for my ribbon so that it stays sharp. Okay, and I'll just get a piece of a mini glue dot here. And the nice thing with glue dots is, okay, and you can use the take your pick tool as well. Okay, but I will stick that on the back of my bow. That glue dot. And then adhere that like so. Now I'm not going to cut those quite yet until I finish the inside. So what I'm going to do for the inside is that's when I'm going to take my other piece of Whisper White here. And I'm going to stamp using Flirty Flamingo again for my colors. And I just took the flower, one of the cherry blossoms, and we'll ink that up. And I just stuck that in a corner like so. And then I took some Granny Apple Green for the leaf. And I just used this leaf here. Okay, and all I did was I kind of off-stamped it a little bit because I just wanted the leaves coming in. Like so. And now I will add some tape, get rid of my ink pad here, to the back of this. Oops. Yep. And now I will center that on the inside of my cupboard. And there you have it. So now I will do the final thing and just trim these. Now this ribbon will uncurl and give you quite a frayed look, which I kind of like. Okay, and in case you haven't seen, we have these lovely purple chamois. You can see mine is, they stay wet if you keep them in a little empty stamp case. And then you just put water on them, and then that's what you do to clean your stamps. Great for on the go. So, oops. And that's how I clean my stamps. And then they're all good to go. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial with paper crafting with Tracy and using this lovely Forever Blossoms stamp set to make this lovely cherry blossom card, which is perfect for spring, that is, hopefully in the near future. Okay. Don't forget to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Paper Crafting with Tracy, to stay up to date on more videos. Thank you.